welcome to Simbin Sessions, your new home for a fresh take on the world of rugby league. I'm Meg Wellens, this is Matt Shaw, and we will be discussing all the big debates, big takes, and all the other nonsense that goes on in this sport. Matt, welcome. You excited to be here?
Yeah, I'm the big name signing for this podcast. Long story short, let's give you a bit of an introduction how this happened. I got a phone call from Meg probably 2 months ago, saying, I think we should do a podcast. I don't think you're out there enough. And I disagreed, and because I thought the public probably disagreed as well.
Yeah, I said what rugby league fans need is more, Matt Shaw.
Yeah, literally that. And eventually, yeah, she's convinced me with a hefty signing on fee to spend an hour or so talking nonsense with her a week. So here we are. What can you expect from this? Basically is taking the mick out of each other, I think, quite a lot. A few debates in between. Yeah. That's about it.
Basically discussing everything that everyone else is discussing in our sport.
Yeah.
And for the actual story, I was Matt's boss. I left, came back into rugby league, and he said, Meg, please do a podcast with me.
Absolutely.
So I said, okay, fine. Okay, so our first segment, Clubhouse Whispers. This is just where we discuss everything that's been going on this week in the world of rugby league, but not only that, what's been going on in our lives. I guess there's only one place to start with you, Matt, and that is your lovely social media interactions at the moment. Tell us more.
Do you mean Derek Beaumont?
I mean, he's one of many, but yeah.
What is going on with Derek? Even I don't know what's going on with Derek. So, I think I've got a good relationship with Derek, but I sent him a text over something, and then he referenced a tweet I'd put out about Wigan and the game day atmosphere. I thought nothing of it. I thought he was just making a joke. Then the next thing I know, a tweet goes out. And I was like, I sent it to you and was like, oh, what do I do here? I sent an incredibly sarcastic tweet out. I thought nothing of it. And then 4 days later, Derek replied, essentially saying I'm not invited, thinking, oh, for goodness sake. So I replied with another sarcastic, which admittedly was Meg Wellens is doing.
Oh, wow, no.
That was your doing, come on, like you've got to take the rap for this.
No, I think my point was, Derek loves having a joke and taking the mick with things, you know, he brought the pies out on Sky Sports, he gave Jenna the wooden spoon.
What was the wooden spoon?
But like, I thought, it's a joke, keep it going, it's building something here. We like narratives in rugby league, don't we?
What journalist v owner?
Well, maybe, but I just thought, keep it light-hearted, keep it banterous, and...
You did like the last tweet.
Yeah.
So I don't know, a very strange dynamic. Not
so
sure
basically,
where
Matt Shaw is very, very scared to turn up at Lee on Friday night.
Well, I don't even know if I'm going to be allowed.
That is true.
I have applied for accreditation.
Yeah. So.
But whether I get in and I'm told I'm not welcome, I don't know.
But ultimately, in all seriousness, we know that Lee has an incredible atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been all year. He did point that out.
He did point out that Matt has not attended all year.
There is a reason, though. There is a reason. So we have a team, and Josh McAllister's done a wonderful job of covering Lee.
He has.
So I've been benched.
You have been benched.
Josh is above me in the pecking order when it comes to covering Lee. I can't help that. I can't fight my way back in, other than for the big games.
Other than for the big game.
Here now.
Yeah.
So yeah, not sure. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Any other social media debates going on?
Probably, but I just laugh at them, to be honest. To be honest, they normally get pointed out to me by you.
That's true. I like them all, so keep them coming.
Yeah.
But I mean, your biggest thing happened in the world of rugby league, but mine was out of rugby league because I went to watch the one and only Katie Price and Kerry Katona. Maybe the best night of my life. If anyone is thinking about going, go. Wonderful women, and she closes the show with Whole Again from Atomic Kitten. What more could you want on a Wednesday night? So yeah, that was the highlight of
the fantastic thing about that insight is that everyone thought I was the biggest loser in rugby league journalism, and now we know it's you. And you had a few pints.
I did. I had a very terrible hangover the day after. But
Meg has this knack of mixing beer and Prosecco whenever she drinks. Every time.
Doesn't go well anything.
But why do you do it? You do it every time.
Yeah. And it didn't work again. And I had a hangover on a Thursday morning, and I felt very sorry for myself. But then, I think it's with old age, it just gets worse and worse and worse, doesn't it? So
There are so many. Yeah. Meg is. You are a bad hangover sufferer.
I am. But
I have voice notes. Maybe at some point, we could have a special where we share voice notes that have been exchanged, because there are some belters.
Yeah. Usually it's just me saying I don't think I can do anything today because I'm going to be sick.
I have got one that is an absolute belter.
And then obviously the other highlight of your week in rugby league is you attended Hull FC's awards.
I did, and got a pint thrown over me.
See, now you need to clarify on this because so I was at my local quiz that I go to every Monday, and you said I've had a pint thrown over me. And I said...
Which I had.
And I said, seriously or joking? And you were like, I don't know. Then obviously on social media you post the picture of you with the tie on.
Yeah.
The Hull FC tie. So
Blurring
everyone's like, oh, it was a joke that he had a pint thrown over him. He's making a big joke about the tie. But what actually is the real story?
Well, I still don't quite know. Ordered a pint, and Dan Tomlinson had his. His got placed on the table. Mine got placed on my shoulder. And all down my lovely three-piece suit that then in the picture looked incredibly soggy.
Well.
I mean, I got an extra free pint, so just not ideal, was it? And then, you try and make a peace offering by going to Hull FC, because apparently I'm a Hull KR fan. I'm not. And yeah, you get a pint thrown down you. I even wore club colours, and I've now got a lot of abuse from the other side of the city.
That is true, you have.
I had to drive all the way back to East Hull that night.
To be fair, one thing that has been made clear to me is how much of a Halifax fan you are, because at Wigan versus Leeds, they're doing our job. Matt was there in body but very much not in spirit, because
what do you mean?
he spent the entirety of round 27 of Super League, what was paid to be there to cover, watching Halifax versus Oldham on the YouTube.
I was on Whitby Watch.
He was on
Whitby Watch for an article, I will have you know. So I was very much doing my job. In fact, I was doing a tremendous job, because I wrote 2 stories for the paper, 3 for the website, and 2 of them were on Leeds Wigan. Admittedly, I didn't do player ratings, because that would have been
taking the mick a bit.
That would have been, because I did not watch that much of that game. However, Halifax on the way. Biggest game of the weekend is, of course, York v Halifax this weekend.
Well, there we go. So we know what your highlight of this week, or it might be a low light of this week, will be.
What, paying for my flights to Toulouse? Because it's more money out of my bank.
Who do they play?
Well, they play York, but when they beat York, they'll play Toulouse in the grand final. On the provision that they don't beat, on the provision Bradford don't beat Toulouse.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, a Bradford Halifax grand final would be utterly. We are actually in Bradford. We should probably give a shout out.
Rugby League manifest, really, wouldn't it? But
I can tell you now, whichever game is on the same day as the Championship grand final, if it's Bradford Halifax, I will not be attending. Well, sorry, Derek, if that is you, I will not be at Lee. But we should actually give a shout out to our hosts.
We should. We are at Bradford City.
We are.
Yeah, in their very lovely boardroom.
Yep.
They are playing away today, playing against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. But yes, so that means we've got to use their very lovely boardroom in their stadium that I'm at for the first time ever. You know it well.
Used to be here a while, yeah.
Yeah, but no.
I have actually watched rugby league here. When Halifax were atrocious and Bradford were annoyingly good. Now they're back at Odsal. Yeah. Full IMG points Odsal.
Full IMG points.
We won't get into that today.
That's one for a later episode, I think. But anyway, should we move on to our next segment?
Why not? Why not? And this is my part, isn't it, to intro. So this is try or no try. And in this part of the segment, we will be looking at the big topics within the game right here, right now, and chewing the fat and getting to the bottom of everything going on with the topics that matter most to you. So, where are we going first? Actually, I know. We're going to Dream Team. We are going to the Dream Team. We were both at the launch of the Dream Team. We were.
Great day getting to speak to all the players who'd made it. I guess first off, we should probably go through what the 1 to 13 is.
Are you putting me on the spot here?
Well, can you not think?
I think so. So it was Jay Field, Lewis Martin, Peter Hiku, Amila Handley, Liam Marshall, Jake Connor, Mikey Lewis, Mike McMeek and Jez Litton, Herman SASA, James McDonald, Dean Hadley, Morgan Knowles.
It was. So 13 incredible players. Do you think that it was the correct 13?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
There were two big oversights for me. Tom Davis.
The same, yeah.
Tom Davis absolutely should have been in that team.
Yeah.
He is the best. I think the problem is now people still look at wingers as tries scored. Even though he's scored a load of tries. People look, and that's nothing against Lewis Martin, because Lewis Martin would have been in my dream team.
Same.
But Tom Davis would have been in for Liam Marshall for me. I just think Tom Davis is, without question, the best backfield winger in the competition.
I think when we go to games a lot now, and one of the things we talk about, like in the way that rugby league has changed and become a much more defensive sport, one of the things we just talk about with Tom Davis, and probably Joe Burgess and a few others, but one of the things that he does better than I think any other winger is that return of the ball when the ball's kicked to him. Is just, and that is an integral part of a winger's game now. And he has been one of the main parts of getting Hull KR on the front foot from tackle 1 and tackle 2. So then you have got Jeslett and by tackle 4 running wild. And I think that's one of the parts of his game that no one else is getting quite as good as he is at the minute. Of course, he's scoring tries as well. I mean, he scored probably one of Hull KR's most famous tries in the...
Yeah, for sure. I just think, I don't know. I thought it would be Davis and Martin, and I thought it was a pretty easy pick. I thought of all the difficult picks, I thought that was one of
the easy ones.
The lock-ins, really, that it would be Davis and Martin.
Because Lewis Martin was 100% in for me, agreed.
Yeah, for sure, completely.
You can't score against every other team in the competition and be top try scorer and not be on the wing.
No,
I think the point is that I think Tom Davis was the most all-round winger in the competition this year. So where else did you think there could have been contentious decisions?
I thought, well, I would have had Tessiniu in over a mile of Hanley, but bad bye. How is Lockie Lamb not in that team? I'm sorry, right? I'll just. It was Lockie Lamb and Jake Connor.
Okay.
And nothing against Mikey Lewis, because Mikey's stats are great, but Lockie Lamb's got 40 odd assists. Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
He was voted
Writers
Player of the Year.
Doesn't get in the dream team.
Yeah.
And it says a lot about the competition, because if Mikey'd have been left out with the numbers he got, you go, wow, he's been unlucky to be left out. But for me, it was Connor and Lamb. But it is what it is. Yeah. They were the two big ones for me. There are a couple of others. I say Tessiniu. I actually think, despite people thinking he's had a poor season, I think if you actually look at Junior and Semba's stats, he's done well.
Well, Matt Peake's been pretty vocal about this. He said, he's 20. Is he 20, 21, Junior in December?
21 now, yeah.
And someone said, we're comparing. It's that case of you're comparing probably the most incredible stats ever to still incredible stats, but it's just he was so incredible last year. He's still incredible this year. It's just not quite those like crazy heights that we saw.
I think, I think he probably notably dipped when Wigan went through that dip, and everyone then looks at and Semba's playing rubbish. But if you actually look, it's his first full season, because even last year he didn't really get integrated till later on. I think he's missed one game.
Yeah. So
it's different, So I thought he was unlucky to miss out. But James McDonald had a solid season. I would have had Dean Hadley in.
Well, Dean Hadley was in.
Yeah, Dean had, but James McDonald.
Was James McDonald your other pick?
Yeah, he was.
He?
I thought Nsemba could get in, and I thought James Batchelor as well.
I think all of those, I don't think it was a contentious thing that James McDonald was in.
No, he'd had a good year. He was dream team worthy.
Yeah.
But
he had a very good start to the year, I think, as well. Yeah. Similar to him and SASA, where it was
do you know what I find interesting? If you actually look on social media, a lot of Leeds fans don't rate James McDonald. And I think he's class.
I think he may be one of those players that you miss when he's not there.
Yeah.
So when he's on the pitch, I feel like he maybe does that kind of work that goes unnoticed, but then take him out of the team, and there are meters and tackles going begging because he's not there.
Well, nothing gets through him.
No.
Defensively, he's awesome, but again, it comes back to what we always say. It's like the Tom Davis thing. People watch tack, don't really watch defence, and defensively, he's solid as a rock.
I also think there's probably an argument as well of, obviously I understand why we're doing the dream team at that point in the season, because we're going down to 6. But I think this with a lot of awards that we do, like we just had the Ballon d'Or, right? They do it for the year previous, later, because you need to see the full achievements of what everyone's done in a year. And I think there is something to say in, should we be doing an awards night of your dream team, your Man of Steel, your Woman of Steel, your Young Players of the Year, when all is said and done? Because there's a world in which, not to go too off tangent, but that someone wins Man of Steel who doesn't even make a grand final, which, you know, is something that could happen. And I think there is something to be said for getting through the big games at the end of the year.
Well, the prime example is the Coach of the Year last year. Which
but Coach of the Year is always crazy.
But Willie Peters won it. Matt Peake didn't win it despite winning all 4 trophies.
Well,
he didn't get Coach of the Year.
What coach never won Coach of the Year? Or did he win it once?
Don't know.
I think he maybe won it once.
Brian McDermott, Sean
No, I
Williams.
actually don't think he won it once. I'm going to have to check this. Christian Wolf.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll have to check the numbers on that. But
Yeah.
of his 3 years of what he did with that dynasty at Saints at the time.
Yeah, he should have won it.
He never, I'm pretty sure, either won it once or never. So.
Yeah, it should be. The hard thing is they all go on to Mad Mondays and they all go away, and it's hard to get everyone in a room together, isn't it?
It is, but there's a way.
You could do it at the start of the year after.
Yeah.
Ballon d'Orish.
Ballon d'Orish. But I just think there's so much that's still to come in the season. So, for example, even going back to Tom Davis scores the match-winning try again in another final. You've got a winger who scored the 2 match-winning tries in 2 major finals and is nowhere near any.
And similarly, Liam Marshall could score a hat-trick in the semi in the grand final, and suddenly we're going, actually, completely deserves his place. So you're right, yeah.
I just think there's quite a lot to still go that I find it hard to say that this is the moment we should be picking those things. Well, anyway, second big topic this week is those that got very close but no cigar.
You say very close.
Yeah.
Warrington.
Close enough. Warrington and Hull FC.
Warrington were not close.
No, they weren't.
Right, let me come to you here. Warrington. Thoughts. Let me open this up to you incredibly broadly.
Do you know what? I always go back to, there was an article that I think a Warrington writer wrote on their own kind of Substack thing about how the issue at Warrington is that their identity is that they want to win a grand final. And say next year they won that grand final, what else is driving Warrington and is the identity of Warrington, and what does it mean to, I don't know, pull on the jet and play for Warrington, and what does it mean? Because there's so many fans in that town who'll tell you what it means, and they're one of the most kind of loyal and loud fan bases out there. But that's why they've been so passionate this year, because they need to know what they can expect from this squad and I guess coach and wider team and what identity they're building, because they've spent a year not understanding the identity of the team that they're watching, is what I would say.
I think it's simpler than that. I just think they've got a culture problem.
But I think that's part of identity, right?
I suppose. Yeah, I suppose. We hear the stories, don't we? I mean, some of them are well known. The Zane Musgrove incident, players not turning up to training, being dropped because they've not done this, not done that. I just don't think, and there'll be more going on.
Yeah.
I just don't think. I think there's too many players there probably complacent or cruising, not hungry enough for it. I think it's as simple as that, and I think we will see that rectified. I think the axe will be swung this off-season at Warrington, and players will leave, and they'll change.
I think they'll have a massive rotation in their squad.
Yeah,
like massive.
I mean, they've clearly they're clearly capable, because when Challenge Cup was the prime example, they were
Challenge Cup. So pre-Challenge Cup, for context, a group of us have gone out the night before, haven't we? And I said on that night, I think Warrington win, and I don't know why. I was like, I just had this feeling that they're going to win. Megadad
4 gives too many is what happened.
But you were like, no, Hull KR will cruise it.
Well, I thought they would.
And then we go in at half time. Score is what it is. I get to walk in smugly with my.
What did I say? Remind me.
You said You said Hull KR will score like 3 tries in the next 20 minutes.
Don't think I said that. I said Hull KR win the game.
Yeah, but you said that they'll come back out and fire and score. And obviously it took till, what was it, minute 79?
Yeah, it was never in doubt.
Yeah.
Wasn't
it that Willie Peters said you'll win it in the 79th minute?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But that was just as we've talked about, like grand final, last 2 grand finals have been 1 try in it.
Mm-hmm.
They did the perfect example of how to just keep Hull KR quiet.
Yeah.
And they used Mark Sneyd to perfection pretty much.
I just think they've got so much wrong there though. Like if you look at even recruitment was awful in the off season. I mean, don't want to say I told you so, but I did say that Warrington won't make the playoffs because I didn't think the recruitment had been good enough. I didn't think the squad was. I think if you stand still, you go backwards.
100%.
And they definitely stood still. Well, they went backwards because they replaced Matty Nicholson with Dan Russell.
Yeah.
That was a downgrade. It just was.
And Matty Nicholson is like had an incredible year.
For sure.
And I think he's one of those players that you have to be trying to get as close as possible, which is hard.
Yeah.
But that's where it needs to come in, that you are getting as close as possible to a top tier signing that you can to fill that void.
Yeah. They just didn't do it.
And they had what, second best defence in 2024?
No, the best.
Best.
They have the record for the fewest points conceded, that side, in a 27-round Super League season. And then go to the absolute shambles of a defensive unit that they were this year.
I think that must be, and I know obviously you're saying players came in, but the squad hasn't changed dramatically.
Well, it hadn't.
No.
The squad, if you look at it, Josh Drinkwater left, Matty Nicholson left. They were the 2 significant ones. And Matty Nicholson's a very good player, but Josh Drinkwater's not known for his defensive prowess, you know?
No.
They just, I don't know. I just think they need a freshen up. I think it's as simple as that for them, and I think they will do that.
100%. I think that must be what also has had Sam Burgess scratching his head, because he comes in and has that year with them, and then, well, it almost like there was, you know, Vegas and all those things, but like it just feels like it wasn't a slow. Well, it was a kind of slow fall off a cliff, because at first they were kind of in there and it was...
But even at the start of the year, I watched them play Huddersfield round 1 and they were poor. But they won, and they beat Catalans round 2 and were poor.
Yeah.
They weren't playing well even when they were winning most of the time. And
but then they had their Challenge Cup run.
Yeah.
Which
well, their best performances came when they weren't expected to win. Lee in the semi.
Yeah.
I know they lost that game. KR in round 27. They played well at Magic against Wigan when they had literally half a team
Magic, they were
out.
Really great.
Yeah, but they had barely anyone played. Like when there was no pressure and no expectation, they were
great.
Awesome. But when there was some pressure, they were rubbish. You know, you look at their that Huddersfield at home, they were
Salford.
Diabolical. Salford, you know, when they're expected to win, which says weak mentality, doesn't it?
But then you can even go as far as, are you on about Hull KR in the final or Hull KR the week just gone?
The week just gone.
Yeah.
They were really good.
They were really good, yeah. But I think they also do have, though, I would say, they have some stars in there to build off, like the Sealish brothers. Like they have young gems in there that are gonna be the foundation of that club, and that's what they need. Though is you need young lads coming through who want to play for Warrington.
They're in a really interesting predicament now, because I think the biggest compliment you can give Sam Burgess of his 2 years at the club is his willingness to trust youth and let them come through. There's been so many. Now, what do they do here? They keep going on about focus on youth and bringing them through. So do you continue down that route? Do you next year run with Leon Hayes and move Mark Sneyd into the back burner? Do you not sign a centre and trust Lindop, who'll miss the start of this season?
Give Kai Taylor-Ray more games. And
do you go with Kai Taylor-Ray at fullback? It seems like they want rid of Dufty.
Yeah.
Or do you recruit big names from Australia?
Well,
which
to be honest, I know what I'd do, because, sorry, but look at one of the biggest issues Warrington have had is that they sign people from the NRL who end up being not good enough to play for them.
Well, their overseas recruitment has been naff.
Yeah.
If you look at Luke Yates has been really good.
Yes, he's been,
Fitzgibbon started well, got the shoulder injury and missed a load of games and just wasn't the same player. Rod Tye was all right. Zane Musgrove. There are some horror ones that you can go back over quite a long period of time.
Yeah.
Like so, and I also think long term, it's boring to talk about, isn't it? But Leeds, since Wigan, win because they bring the youth through.
Yeah.
If they want to start winning things.
It's more for me. It's as well. It's throwing them in. It's using them wisely. So it's not saying that you don't necessarily not sign everyone in all those positions that we just spoke about, but really targeting areas where you're like, in the next 2 years, these players are going to be our young homegrown stars. And I think, to be honest, if the club said that to Warrington fans, I think Warrington fans would go with that.
Hard, isn't it? I don't know, because the flip side is, if we've had this conversation about Saints, if Saints were to do that and go,
we're not going to win anything for a couple of years.
We're gonna blood Dagnall, Whitby. We're gonna have Whitby the 7 shirt. We're gonna have Dagnall the 2 shirt.
Yeah, we're going to keep Robertson at centre, all that kind of stuff.
And you go, we're well aware that we're probably not going to win anything this year. How do you sell that?
No, I know.
Same thing. So it's an interesting
I guess
dynamic.
it's getting the blend correct.
Correct.
But no, they're going to have. I think maybe this is going to be Sam Burgess's most pivotal pre-season of the 3 years.
Well, if he has a bad start, he'll be gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then makes it hard for him, because does he go sign proven quality, or does he trust?
This is your issue when a coach feels the job is on the line, because there has to be a degree of protection that they protect themselves as well. So of course he's going to bring in signings that he feels will, unless he sits down with the Warrington board and they have a full agreement that no matter what happens in those first 8 weeks, we are blooding our youngsters, and that's that. Unless that agreement's come to, then they're going to be bringing people in.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I guess the other team, Hull FC. What an interesting season for them.
I've been really impressed with Hull FC.
Why?
Because they've been pathetic for 3 years. And all the traits and characteristics that they've not had, fight, spirit, grit, competitiveness, been there absolutely in abundance. They've been the hallmarks of Hull FC.
Yeah.
Everything they didn't have, they now have. And I think, if we're honest, you can go back to it all the time. What did we all think realistically was going to be the end for Hull FC's year? We thought 9th, around that. They finished 7th. They missed out on the final round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think even Richie Myler would have taken that outcome if I'd have offered it him at the start of the season. We talk about youth. They've got 2 of the best young wingers in the comp.
Yeah.
They've got David Litton, who looks great.
Yeah.
I just think I think they're in a real good spot. And did we start with both predictions for next year already?
See, what I was going to say is, I think they have done incredibly well this year, but the only way was up.
It was.
So I'm so intrigued for next year, because there's an expectation there now. There's an expectation. Look, you've had 2 players in the dream team. You just missed out on the playoffs. The only way up from that is the playoffs, right? Yeah. And then on top of that, it's getting your home record a bit better, because their home record was shocking. And also, by the end of the season, they had the reasoning of their very long list of injuries, right? Yeah. That they were like, look, and it was an incredibly long list of injuries.
It was.
But if they get to a similar point in the season, injuryless, and they're not in that conversation, then I think it's when they go, ooh, but I think they will be in the conversation. But
I would not be surprised if Hull FC finished top 4 next year. Okay. Because I think Jake Arthur should be a good signing. Cade Custer's done a job, but they've played with 1 half-back essentially most of the year. Cade Custer's filled a gap. So they get a proper half-back on the right edge. I think that's massive. They add depth to the middle with Harvey Hill.
Yeah. Great young player.
I think James Bell's a really smart.
James Bell's been Saints' best player for the last 3 weeks.
The thing I like about the James Bell signing is we know that John Asiata is an unbelievable player, but he does get injured a lot. But James Bell is of a similar mould, so when they lose Asiata now, they can still keep that structural play. So I think that's a really good signing for them.
Also, I feel like as well, John Asiata starting and getting a breather and bringing James Bell on is pretty like
a pretty good place to be. Absolutely. So they're in a good spot. They're in a good spot.
They've made some shrewd signings.
Yeah, they have.
They've given some big deals, but they've made some shrewd signings.
They probably. The big one for me is whether they can get Jake Cartwright playing week in, week out. Yeah, I will openly say this. He is the best back rower. I think he's the best back rower in Super League.
And if Joe Batchelor can stay fit as well.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen of Jake Cartwright, he's the best back rower in Super League. He just can't stay on the field. So when I say best, you've got to be on for more than... If he played 25 games a season, he would be in the dream team without a shadow of a doubt. So that's a big one for them. Yeah. I'm more than happy to say that.
Well, the biggest thing they'd say that impacted their season was injuries, right?
Yeah.
So it's they need, what was it, an injury list of 11 players by the end?
Well, Price missed most of the time. Cartwright missed most of the season.
Liam...
Asiata missed fair chunks. I mean, Liam Knight missed the end. You get injuries like that 4 or 5 weeks. SASA misses the end, but he played most of the season, didn't he? But well, you can boil it down simply to Price and Asiata. You're 1 and you're 13 missing.
Well, I remember covering Hull FC versus Lee round 21, 22 maybe, at Hull. And it was when John Asiata got re-injured.
Yeah.
In those first 50 minutes that he played on that pitch, he was unplayable.
Yeah.
It was like he literally was just running the team.
He's that good.
And he was making things happen on his own. Lee didn't know what to do. Like obviously Lee know John Asiata very well, and they had no idea how to stop him.
The thing with Asiata is he frees, because he takes up so much attention. He frees up everyone else. So he makes everyone else better. Makes everyone else harder to. He's just awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. So given that Hull FC have gone from
11th
down there to middling's fair, I think.
Yeah.
What is a positive move for them next year?
Well, playoffs is a positive, isn't it? One place higher would be.
What about if they did the same?
Yeah, it'd be a fail for them. Yeah. And it won't be easy, by the way, because I look at Wakefield and think Wakefield are going to be better again because they've got a young squad, they've signed well. Yeah. You can't see Hull KR dipping that much. No. Wigan will be Wigan. Leeds, you can't really see dipping. Lee, not really. I'm stopping writing Lee off. Saints are the one at the minute in the playoffs where I am worried for them next season. Yeah. But even below them, you would expect Warrington and Catalan to improve as well.
Well, Catalan, final couple of rounds.
4 from 5, yeah.
It was just like...
We've a team on paper that really isn't that good.
Yeah. But again, maybe that was a mentality thing, pressure's off.
Possibly.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, possibly.
We can just show what we can do now. I know Luke Keary said after one of the matches, I think he literally went to Mark Wilson, where's that been all season?
Oh, I know. Well, I agree. But yeah, if I was predicting the table right now on what clubs have done, Hull would be in the 6th.
I also really rate John Cartwright.
Yeah, good guy.
Great guy.
Good guy. Calls you Dal.
It's my favourite.
Every time.
Yeah.
John, stop it, because she loves it. Stop it. Please stop it.
So basically, Warrington have to drastically improve.
Yes.
And Hull FC have to improve a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
I think that is fair enough.
Okay, should we move on to our next segment?
Should we move on?
So now it is debate time. So this is Meg versus Matt Captain's Challenge. So this is a part where we will go up against one another. One of us will pick a topic each week that they believe they can hold their fort on, and the other person has to say whether the challenge has been successful or unsuccessful.
A bit of background for the concept of this. We have had arguments that last 48 hours. The most recent one, or the most intense one, was the Elliot Minchella charge and ban.
But the best part about this was, so I was saying it's grade C and a 1-match ban. You were saying it was grade B, yellow card sufficient. So we go back and forth, like proper going at it for 48 hours, and then it comes out and it's grade A.
But the best thing about we were like screen recording the tackle and breaking it down frame by frame, and
like we were on the RFL website going through like 3.8.1.2.
Yeah, we seriously were nerdy on it.
Yeah,
seriously nerdy, and I said on the Sunday, I said I can't wait for disciplinary to come out because I knew I'd be right.
But you weren't right. Neither of us were right.
And then it came out, and I just sent a load of like gifs of sniggering, and so she was on. Yeah. She was on the warpath at that point.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd done really well until the RFL gave us the explanation of to why it was a grade A. I'm like,
my favourite meme of that was the one who put the picture of the ball and put statement from the ball. I took most of the impact, signed by the ball. But yeah, so we have had many an argument over.
Meg's given me silent treatment for days at a time as well.
The Elliot Minchella was the one where I was like, I need you to go away. And we were both wrong, because actually that was the best of both worlds.
That was wonderful.
So I'm the one who's picked the topic this week, because I think it's quite apt. Because by the time this goes out, we will know what the shortlist is.
Hit me.
It is that the Man of Steel voting system should be changed.
So you think it should be changed?
Yeah.
Right, explain.
I don't believe that every single game of Super League warrants Man of Steel points.
Okay.
And I don't think doing the best in a rubbish game should get you Man of Steel points.
Right. There's a lot of things I want to say here. Mm-hmm. For starters, because Meg's not done a job, we want you to get involved in this conversation too.
Sorry, yeah, we do.
I'll do your job for you. So please let us know in the comments what you think on this and who you agree with.
Not only that, but if you were to change the system, what would you like to see?
Yes, absolutely. Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because I think you forgot to do that as well.
I did forget to do that as well. Yeah.
Presenter. Yeah. Okay. Well, my simple question to you first and foremost is what system would you like to do? How would you like to determine Man of Steel?
The idea that basically every week that every team is in contention for points feels silly to me, because you're awarding mediocrity in worse games, and there's probably players in some games that are consistently good in all games but won't get any points because they play for Wigan or they play for Hull KR, and they end up not getting any points when they've been one of the most consistent players for their team, taking them to the top. But because 3-2-1 goes to 3 other players on their team, I would argue that in some weeks there's 4 Wigan or Hull KR players that deserve Man of Steel points over, I don't know, a Huddersfield player against Salford.
But Mikey Lewis won Man of Steel last year playing for Hull KR.
Yeah, he did.
So you can win it playing for one of the top teams?
You can, but I just disagree with the system. Because do you not think, so like we just announced the Women of Steel shortlist.
Yep.
All 3, Wigan. Because correctly, the 3 best players this year in the Women's Super League, who have won the League Leaders Shield, the Challenge Cup, they won the Nines tournament, and they're in the grand final, have all come from Wigan.
But how would you go about determining a shortlist?
So I think you can still rely on a committee of ex-players. How many is there on the committee? Is it 21? Something like that. I think it's still right that they go watch all the games. They could potentially, I don't know, meet monthly to discuss who across that month has really shined for those teams. I don't think it should be a point system, personally. Those 21 people whose job it is to go to the games across the season, keep a tally of who's done really well in those games. Each month they sit down, these are the shining lights for these teams, blah, 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 and go, I don't know, if you're on a 8-game losing streak, no one's shining, are they? right?
No.
So then you get to the end of the season, then they pick a short list of 10 to 15 players from across the but that means you could have 3 from Hull KR, 3 from Wigan, and then that short list goes to the players. And the players vote.
Because I thought you were going to say let the players vote, but we've done that before and it was an utter shambles.
The players should vote from a short list.
Because I remember players voting for players who hadn't played a single game all season when they were given it.
But
so
if you're giving them 12 to 15 names to vote from.
Yeah. If you give it the captains, maybe.
And I think it used to be the rule that you can't vote for your own team, right?
Yeah.
So you give them the rule, can't vote for your own team. So that reduces it automatically to like 9 players to pick from.
Yeah.
And I just don't see I don't know why we have to pretend that the Man of Steel could be from all 12 teams.
I think the good thing about the current system is what can go wrong when you do Man of Steel on a system like that is people forget what happened at the start of the season, where you will get rewarded for your performances at the start of the year in the current, because you get points all the way through. I do think there can be recency bias at times when you do awards like this, where everyone may forget the first 10 rounds of the season.
But they're not forgetting them because they're meeting monthly to discuss.
If it was done properly like that, you could do it.
Yeah.
I quite like the idea of you could still do a voting system, but every club has a vote. Maybe you get every group of players has a vote, every coach has a vote. You could maybe pick a few members of the media potentially to get a vote. That's what Ballon d'Or do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe you could do it that way.
And maybe you go more down that Ballon d'Or route, because I think Ballon d'Or announced like top 50 or top 30 players? Obviously, we don't need to do it because it's not like a world, but like if you did the top 10 and made it a big thing of 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 4th, 3, 2, 1.
But you could do like top 20 and then have the top 5. Go to top 5 and then announce the rest.
And do the top 5 on the night.
Yeah.
And they go up and they're your top 5 players.
There's no perfect.
There isn't, but I think the current system is too imperfect.
I mean, if you look at the way it's been done since the point system, I can't remember when the point system came in. It was relatively recent.
2019.
So Jackson Hastings will have been the first recipient playing for Salford. But then was he not worthy of Man of Steel?
I don't think it's about worthiness. I think it's about ruling out people in top teams because only a small sector of that top team can get points.
And I get that people will argue that Jackson Hastings was playing in Salford team where he's a star man every week.
Yeah.
Same with Brodie Croft when he won it.
For example, I don't know, probably, and it also, I would say, I'd argue, is better for backs rather than forwards.
I don't know.
I think it would be.
Possibly.
Because your people that get picked out, like we talk about, are the ones who do the
standout stuff.
Standout attacking stuff.
Yeah.
Dean Hadley or Morgan Knowles killing themselves week in, week out.
But then Danny Houghton won it. I think if you actually got the players though, if you could find a sensible way for players to vote, where or just let them have a vote, but it's the group, so you're not going to get the odd individual who's going to not take it seriously.
So your idea is that within the teams, they all vote, and then whoever got the most votes by that team goes to the shortlist.
Yeah, that would be my thing. Or you just do it as a straight voting system. So, all the teams have a meeting together and they go, right, who do we think have been the 3 best players we've played against this season? Who would be Man of Steel? And then it's a points voting system through that. So if they put you as number 1, you get 3 points. 2 points, 1 point. And you could do that for everyone. And then
your top 5 go to...
And you could do that with coach. Every coach could have it. You could have the broadcasters maybe. Some other, I'm sure.
At least that way you're getting the whole cross sector of the people involved in the sport. Yeah. And then it's also, because if you're sat there as a team, I don't know, Huddersfield might be like, I don't know, Peter Hickey, God, he got us every single time. Yeah. He's their number 1.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So then you get in the team's perspectives.
No, that makes sense.
I quite like that idea, to be honest.
But ultimately, what you are admitting there is that there are better systems available.
Well, who would be Man of Steel this year, just out of interest?
Who'd be mine?
Yeah.
Oof. See, this goes back to the thing as well, is that I'd have it after everything.
Right, okay.
Because I'd have
but
it.
if you were doing it right
next
now,
year.
who's
if
your
I had
Man
to
of
go with
Steel?
the current system.
Yeah. Not who you think will win it, just who would be your Man of Steel based
Who
on
would
what
be
you
my
have
Man of
seen.
Steel?
Mine's Jake Connor.
See, mine's not.
My Man of Steel would be Jake Connor, and I think Jake Connor will win Man of Steel. So and then I'm going, well, actually, it's
I think
probably
Jake
right
Connor's
thing.
been brilliant, but it's similar, I guess, to the Dream Team. I think Lachlan Lamb should be within a shout.
Yeah, he should be in with a shout. Should be in with a shout.
And again, I think in the way that the current game is and the system it is, there are probably forwards for Hull KR, Wigan, Lee, who probably deserve more props than they're getting.
I mean, you could, if I was picking, right, if thinking about who do I think the 5 best players in the comp have been this year? So I would probably go Connor, Lamb.
I'd say Morgan
Knowles, yeah, I would agree with that.
Dean Hadley?
Jez Litton.
Yeah.
And one of Lockie Miller or Dean Hadley.
I'd go Dean Hadley. So
They would be my...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, if say even you gave that 5-player shortlist to players, at
Yeah.
least it gives a bit more of like a... But then, did we have a Wigan representative in there?
No.
Which, like...
I mean, Jay Field's been great.
Jay Field's been great. I really rate Jake Wardle. I think he's always...
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's been solid.
But I just think there's better... I think mine would probably... My top 3 would be... No, my top 5 would probably Lachlan Lamb, Dean Hadley, Morgan Knowles.
You're not having Connor in your top 5?
Yeah, I am.
So that's 4.
What? So everyone's said like Harry Smith's had a dip at a point in the season.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the end of the season. There's a world in which Harry Smith has achieved more than Jake Connor.
Yeah, so you're going on a... Yeah. I was going to go back to our Hull and Wigan derby debates here. But I know where you're going. That's for another time.
But I just think that... One, part of the current problem is that we do it when it is.
Yeah.
I'd have it when everything's said and done. Because... So right, Jake Connor could go into the grand final and win player of the match, and it's like the most deserved thing. He could go into the grand final and not win player of the match, but have a great game, and it still be.
I see what you mean.
But I just think. So I don't know. I just think your Man of Steel has to have, I guess, achieved
One
things
something.
as well.
All right.
But who's the only player to have won Man of Steel on both systems?
Here we go. How was the point scoring system in a previous time?
We've had different point scoring systems.
Do I know the answer by just looking at it?
No, you'll know who it is. No, you'll know who it is. I think it's pretty obvious. There's not many people who've won Man of Steel twice.
Sam Tompkins.
Yeah, there you go.
Player.
Took you a while.
Super League greatest ever fullback, in my opinion.
It
That's
is.
a debate for another day.
It is.
Right.
So yeah, of course, like we said, let us know in the comments. Do you like the current Man of Steel system? Would you change to the current Man of Steel system? If you would change it, what would you change it to? And should we move when the Man of Steel Awards and the Rugby League Awards take place? Let's move on to our next segment, shall we?
See, unload and offload.
Offload and unload.
Offload.
Come on, Matt.
I was close. So this is the part where we basically get you involved, and we want to get your stories, your interactions, and we are generally speaking going to pick one topic a week. And you may have seen this week that we've been asking people for Mad Monday stories, including Zach Hardacre and Liam Watts, who helped us go a little bit viral.
They did. They've helped grow our TikTok, so thanks, guys.
Yeah. So basically, we've been asking you for your best Mad Monday stories. And we have a few that Meg isn't aware of yet.
I'm not aware of yet.
It was decided that I should read them out.
Each week, one of us will take it in turns reading them out, because as we said, it's anonymous. So anything you do, send in to us and tell us, we will read out, and no one will ever know who it is. And if there are any topics, stories you want us to chat about, and you want to send stories in about, please let us know. Because we're always looking for ideas for this segment, because it's your segment.
This is your segment.
Yeah.
Right, should I read them? Actually, just before we do, I've been quite pleased with the reaction we've had to our new...
Yeah.
We've been called Posh and Becks.
I don't know what that's
half
about.
of it's right. I'll let you decide which half is right. But it's definitely not Meg being posh.
Slander against Lancashire, that really.
Here we go.
But you're definitely not anyway, yeah, we'll move on from that one. But yeah, no, everyone's been really nice. Obviously, we hope you enjoy it, and if there's anything
not
you'd like...
everyone's been nice.
Not everyone's been nice, but everyone who wants to take an interest in it has been nice. And if there is ever anything you also want us to add to the show, talk about on the show,
absolutely.
Like we say, this is all the stuff that you guys want to hear about, so just let us know.
Don't forget to follow us on our channels as well.
Yeah, we are across TikTok, Instagram, X, we've got a link tree, and we're on YouTube. So our full episodes will go out each week, and you can also follow them all across social media. But yeah, we just want you involved as much as possible, and that starts this week with Mad Monday. I'm a little bit terrified because obviously I've never done a Mad Monday.
These are great. I have done a Mad Monday.
I've not. I've
mean,
never been in that
You're
world.
from St Helens. You'll have had nights out that are
Maybe.
Mad Monday-ish.
Maybe.
Okay. Right, we've got 3 stories.
Okay.
They're all anonymous. Well, names were put on, but we've kept them anonymous. Right, are you ready for this first one?
Not really, but go on.
Right. After a difficult season, it was decided that one Mad Monday at the local wasn't going to cut it. It took a little bit of persuasion, but not much, to convince everyone to book a flight to Benidorm. Already a terrible start.
I haven't ever been to Benidorm, but I have a lot of family who rave about it.
It is the only place... I am from Halifax. I frequent dingy places.
Yeah.
Benidorm is the only place I've ever been and gone, too much.
See, my mum always goes,
too
don't knock
far.
it till you've tried it.
It is the most feral place I've ever been in my entire life. Anyway, cheap flights, cheaper booze, and a strip full of bars that never seemed too far away. The prop forward, who has been named as Big Gaz, has been mouthing off about how he would drink everyone under the table. Every group, every friendship group has someone like that. I'll drink Spain dry before you've even finished your first sangria.
Right.
Apparently, was what Big Gaz says. Day one, and the boys were all in good spirits, and true to his word, Big Gaz was powering through pint after pint, paella in his beard, and shouting "ole" at passing tourists. But Benidorm doesn't play fair.
That Spanish cultural hub, Benidorm.
Yes. By midnight, Big Gaz, that self-proclaimed drinking champion, was being held up by the kitman and the winger. Big Gaz had gone too big. But getting him to bed safe was the least of our worries. Instead, this was an opportunity. With that in mind, one of the lads raced to a local shop and bought duct tape and tied him to a lamppost outside a kebab shop.
No.
Before dressing him up with a sombrero and half a pint carefully placed on top. Needless to say, it became a bit of a scene as hen parties started coming and posting photos, and the kebab shop owner was very grateful for the increased custom he was getting thanks to the attraction tied to his nearest lamppost. When Gaz emerged in the morning, he still had the audacity to call himself the team's biggest drinker. We still don't know to this day whether he knows we left him unattended, and we've no idea how he was freed from the lamppost.
I was going to say, did they not move him from the lamppost?
No, left him. Seemingly.
Oh, that's horrible.
Seemingly.
Boys are horrible. I mean, I'd have the worst beer fear of my entire life.
You are bad for a beer fear.
So I don't think I'd emerge from I'd have already got a flight home, and everyone would be going, "Where's Meg?" And I'd be like, "I'm at home."
It's like Magic Weekend all over again.
Yeah. But all right, Matt. But
do you want to tell that story?
No, I don't. But I mean, do you know what though? I feel like lads, to them, he'll love that.
I thought it was hilarious when I read it.
But he'll love that. He'll have photos of hen parties of him tied to a lamppost with a sombrero on with a pint on his head.
I would have fear, but
I'd
some lads.
yeah.
Anyway, story 2.
Yeah.
Okay, this is funny. After a few, it always starts with after a few beers too many. We've all been there. Around the local village, we all thought it would be a great idea to strip off the youngest player in the team and run off with his clothes. The poor lad had only just finished university and was left in a car park with nothing to cover his decency. We all thought it was hilarious, it is, as he ran down the street chasing us to the next pub, until the police drove past at the worst time possible. Of course, they stopped, pulled him over and put him in the back of the car. What made it worse was the lad had decided he wanted to become a firefighter, and so anything on his criminal record could have ruined his chances. After being in the car for quite a while, the team captain went over to try and explain what had happened and to get the player, who we're calling Kevin, off the hook. The only issue was that after confessing about what had happened, the police officers placed the captain under arrest for outraging public decency.
Nice.
Thankfully, it turned out that the officers saw the funny side of what was going on and had decided to help Kevin get his own back by staging the fake arrest. Brilliant.
Oh, quality.
Brilliant. Well done,
That is
Kevin.
Brilliant. And fair play to those police officers. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah. Kevin has now become a firefighter and goes by the nickname Naked Flame.
Nice.
Brilliant.
That is brilliant.
That is a good Man Bundy
That
story.
is good. I love it when they turn it back on them.
Yeah,
it's
fair
always
play.
better.
And it's the youngest in the team. That is getting the captain.
The fact he had the wherewithal with the police officers.
I think he's nailed that.
Yeah, he has. And I hope the captain had like a really high powered
job as well.
So he was like pooing his pants.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, and this is the last one. This is a funny one, and I respect this. This is good banter. Every team has that one referee who seems to have it in for them. Ours was called Barry.
Barry.
He'd penalised us for everything that season. Forward passes that weren't forward, knock-ons no one else saw, even back-chat when no one had said a word. By the end of the year, Barry was public enemy number 1 in the sheds. So when Mad Monday rolled around, the boys hatched a plan. Instead of freezing him out, they invited him along as a peace offering.
Oh, God.
Barry, seemingly oblivious to our hatred, turned up at the pub expecting a few good-natured beers.
Why do I feel bad for him?
He gets part of this. And a chance to bridge things up. He walked through the door to 20 blokes, all dressed head to toe as referees. Black shorts, striped shirts, whistles dangling around the necks.
Nice.
The rules of the day were simple. Every time Barry took a sip of his drink, the lads would blow their whistles and wave red cards in his face.
Oh. Poor guy.
When he got to use the loo, he copped a Simbin penalty and had to sit in the corner on a plastic chair for 10 minutes.
Oh.
By the end of the night, though, Barry was laughing harder than anyone else. And from that Mad Monday onwards, Barry seemed to ease up on us a little bit. He's still a... I can't... He's still a bent.
Right.
Though. Tremendous.
Wow.
I think they are good stories.
That is good. I mean, fair play to the ref for even turning up.
If you think you're going to get a few beers. Team bonding.
And he evidently wasn't that biased against him. But, oh, yeah, I'd love that guy with them lads.
Yeah.
But I enjoy that. I think the second story was my favourite, though.
Yeah, he's done
Flipping it back on his captain, absolutely top level.
I'm just trying, the poor lad having to run down the street with nothing on. In a village, it said as well.
A village, so like your ends.
Yeah.
Village ends.
It's not great, is it?
No. Oh, no. The embarrassment would be real.
But anyway, so there you are. That was a solid start, because we were worried that no one was going to get in touch with us.
That is true.
And they are good stories.
And of course, someone did get in touch via X with their favourite Mad Monday, and that was someone's costume for Mad Monday. For Bradford, you have.
Oh, I have. Yeah. Yes.
So that was Matt's favourite. But yeah, and just like that, we have come to the end of our first Simbin session. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next week. More debates, more stories. Like we said, get in touch with any ideas, stories and comments. And also make sure to like and subscribe so that you do not miss a single Simbin session. See you next week.